Hey, this is Andrew bringing you another Keyforge deck reveal. This is going to be another Coda deck. This one is actually one that Allie won at our local store in Chainbound, but and went ahead and got this one, but wanted a blue deck, so we went ahead and traded. So I'm opening this one, and she opened the blue one, got some cool stuff, but yeah, so here goes. This is a nice Coda deck. I actually loaned her the deck that she won with. It's a cool, well, it's one I opened on here, Capella. It has Khalifu Dragon, which is always a fun card, along with Loot the Bodies and a couple of Earth Shakers, and a Too Much to Protect in Shadows, which is really nice. So yeah, just interesting stuff. Alright, so this is the Iron Sentinel that cheats Slate. I'm going to guess this is like Shadows, Sanctum, Brobnar, based on that. We'll see. Not Sanctum. But we got Shadows, Brobnar, and Mars. So, cool. Alright. This is entirely no overlap with the last one I opened. So, Shadows, obviously I'm hoping for a bunch of steel, maybe some direct damage spread. With Mars, I'm hoping for some interesting combos that let me establish and exploit board control to generate Aember. Maybe even some, like, it would be super cool to get like a Battlefleet Key Abduction setup. Haven't had one of those before, but not getting my hopes up too much. And with Brobnar, I'm hoping to get some board control and maybe some fight-based Aember generation. But yeah, just generally being able to own the board. Maybe some Aember control in the form of making my opponent lose Aember, of course. So let's see. So again, this is the Iron Sentinel, the Iron Sentinel that cheats Slate. Alright, oh, that's a great card to start with. Burn the Stockpile. If your opponent has 7 or more, they lose 4. That's great. Awesome. Okay, well, good start. Okay, Coward's End, bring it down a little bit here. Destroy each undamaged creature, gain 3 chains. Probably pitch this most of the time, but depends on the situation. We'll see. Got 2 of those. That's 2 too many. Okay, Loot the Body's Coward's End can be pretty interesting. If you get this set up, that can just be a lot of Aember, if that happens to be what's in your hand. So maybe I'm wrong and I need to give this a chance. And with 2 of each, our chances of having the combo are actually pretty decent. So, okay, I'm interested. Okay, War Song, that says for the remainder... So, in case you didn't know, Loot the Bodies is for the remainder of the turn, gain an Aember each time an enemy creature is destroyed. War Song is for the remainder of the turn, gain an Aember each time a friendly creature fights. So, we're 6 cards in. We hope we get some creatures or something if this is going to work. We have a Cannon, which is an artifact that deals 2 damage to a creature when it exhausts. Iron Obelisk is an artifact that says your opponent's keys cost +1 for each friendly damaged Brobnar creature. Okay. The Word Chest is an artifact that exhausts to gain an Aember for each enemy creature that was destroyed in a fight this turn. And now we're finally into the creatures with a Crump, 6 power giant that says after an enemy creature is destroyed fighting Crump, its controller loses 1. Smash, 5 power giant that stuns a creature when it's played, and another smash. Okay. 3 Brobnar creatures is not a lot. That's going to make Iron Obelisk not as useful. That's going to make the War Chest not as useful. It's going to make War Song not as useful. I would normally say it would make Loot the Bodies not as useful, but the Coward's End kind of makes up for that. So, it's interesting. I don't like that every time I do this I have to gain chains, but I mean, I could potentially get a lot of Aember out of this, so maybe it's okay. And the stuns are fine. I mean, you just have to treat these more like actions at that point. And if I can get some value out of Crump, I'm happy, but probably going to get like 1 Aember loss to my opponent out of that. So, yeah, that's interesting. It's not like a Brobnar. It's a weird Brobnar. So, interesting setup. Okay, Ammonia Clouds. We're in Mars now. Deals 3 damage to each creature. Okay, Hypnotic Command says for each friendly Mars creature, choose an enemy creature to capture one from their own side. That's interesting. If we get a lot of Mars creatures, this can be very, very, very good. Very good. Like old bait and switch level good. Sample Collection. When you play it, you put an enemy creature into your archives for each key your opponent has forged. And same as with most Mars stuff, if the creature leaves your archives, it goes back to the owner's hand. Okay, we have a Squawker. Gain an Aember, ready a Mars creature or stun a non-Mars creature. A Combat Pheromones. It's an artifact with a bonus Aember that has Omni. Sacrifice it. You can use up to 2 other Mars cards this turn. Alright, and now we're into the creatures. We have Grabber Jammer. Okay, that's solid. 4 power robot with 1 armor. Your opponent's keys cost +1, and when it fights or reaps, you capture 1. Nice. Tunk. 6 power robot with 1 armor. After you play another Mars creature, fully yield Tunk. Very nice. Vizaima Think Drone. 3 power Martian Scientist. After it reaps, you may archive a friendly creature or artifact from play. Probably nothing I do that with so far. Maybe a Smash. Ixili Marauder, 2 power Martian Soldier. It gets +1 power for each Aember on it, and when you play it, you capture an Aember for each friendly ready Mars creature. This one actually wouldn't be bad to archive with the Vizaima Think Drone if it had come out earlier and had nothing captured on it. You could archive it to bring out the next turn and actually get capture. Ixil's Dominator is a 9 power robot with 1 armor and taunt, and it enters play stunned. This is really nice for protecting your other stuff, like your Think Drone or your Grabber Jammer. Zizix the Many is a 3 power Martian Soldier that, after it fights or reaps, has you reveal a creature from your hand. If you do, archive it, and Zizix the Many gets 3 +1 power counters. That's very interesting. Nice for moving your deck along, setting things up. I'm interested to see what we get in Shadows. If we get a lot of creatures there, could be like extra good. And then we have Biomatrix Backup, which is an upgrade that has a bonus Aember and gives a creature destroyed. You may put this creature into its owner's archives. It's actually been errated to say just destroyed, put this creature into its owner's archives. So that's also maybe a good thing to put on Marauder or maybe Dominator. Maybe the Grabber Jammer, maybe Smash, something like that. So, okay, that's an interesting setup. I mean, 6 Mars creatures means it's fairly likely that we get off a decent shot with Hypnotic Command. I'm happy about that. I think that's an interesting Mars setup. All right, Pawn Sacrifice. It's an action with a bonus Aember. When you play it, you sacrifice a friendly creature, and if you do, you deal 3 damage each to 2 creatures. Okay, 2 of those. Oh, all right, interesting. It's good direct damage, like we were talking about. Poison Wave, even more direct damage. Gain an Aember, deal 2 damage to each creature. I mean, between these, the Ammonia Clouds, and the Cannon, I mean, and the Coward's Ends, like, I feel like we have a good chance to just be things aren't going to stick on the board. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, Carlo Phantom is a 1 power Elf Thief with Elusive, and it says each time you play an artifact, steal 1. We didn't have any artifacts in Mars, but in Brobnar we had 3, and maybe this redeems them a little bit. If we have Carlo on the board when we play these, then okay, then we get value out of them, but that's kind of the prerequisite, I think. Nexus is a 3 power Cyborg Thief with Elusive, and after it reaps, you use an opponent's artifact as if it were yours. Okay, that's a good card. Naughty the Thief is a 2 power Elf Thief with Elusive, and it can exhaust to steal 1. Also interesting. 2 of those. Alright, that's good steal here. Now, it's hard because all these die, well, the Nexus doesn't, but these mostly die to the Poison Wave and certainly to the Ammonia Clouds. But that's okay. I mean, Ammonia Clouds is always optional. 3 Naughties. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. I like that. Dodger is a 5 power Elf Thief that after fighting steals 1. Very nice. I like it. 2 of those. Wow. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Ooh, Snicklifter. That's a fun one. It's a 2 power Elf Thief. When you play it, you take control of an enemy artifact, And while under your control, if it does not belong to one of your 3 houses, it is considered to be of House Shadows. This is a great target. If you get this early and you have Zizix on the board, you go ahead and archive this and you just wait. You wait until later on when it makes sense. That's cool. Okay. And finally, Urchin. This is also a decent one to archive with Zizix, especially if your opponent doesn't have any Aember. You just, you're kind of telegraphing, hey look, I have these things in my archives. You do what you want. Later on, when I want them, I'll bring them out. Yeah, okay. There's some interesting stuff going on there. 6, 15, 18 creatures total is actually a pretty decent number. Anytime I get a Brobnar deck, I kind of wish that the deck were more slanted towards having a lot of Brobnar creatures, because it's a house that tends to really want to use creatures. But yeah, there's some interesting stuff there. Lots of steel in the Shadows if you can just stick stuff on the board, right? I mean, 6, 7 cards. 7 out of the 12 cards in Shadows have steel printed on them. You just have to have most of them stick on the board long enough to do work. So, yeah, it's interesting. I think this is going to suffer a little bit just because the Shadows really needs the cards to stick on the board. The Brobnar isn't really going to do enough of board control to ensure that happens. And the Mars has a lot of potential, but it really matters which order you get things in. So it's a little finicky because of that, but has potential. I just wouldn't expect a ton of consistency. So, but that's okay. It seems very fun. I look forward to playing it, and maybe I'll play it against you if you come out and forge some keys. Thanks.